This is Matthew here at Toy Fair 2023. We're here now with Brian Volk-Weiss at the Nacelle Company. That's Brian. How's it going, Brian?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing awesome.
It's good to see you.
It's great to see you. We're big fans of your stuff over at Nerd News Today, and we're very excited to be talking toys today.
Thank you.
So this is your guys' first Toy Fair as a toy vendor, which is pretty cool.
The last time I was here, I was directing season 1 of Toys That Made Us.
Yeah,
so
a long time ago.
This is a little different.
This is pretty cool, though, to have you guys here in this aspect, because who knew you would actually get into the toy making business? And,
Well, you know who didn't know? Me.
I figured.
I had no clue whatsoever this would happen.
Well, welcome to it, and let's get into things, Brian, because we got Biker Mice from Mars making their in-flesh debut, I think, right?
No.
SDCC?
Well, it's so funny. A slightly less polished version of the bikes did appear at San Diego Comic-Con, but they didn't have the electronics inside them the way these do. So you can see the headlights are lit up, and if you go to the other side, you can see that the dashboard lights up. Also, this gun, very accurate to the cartoon, especially the pilot that comes up, but it's still attached. So we did, and this also has a different paint job than the ones we had at San Diego. So these bikes are making their premiere, but we did announce the bikes at San Diego Comic-Con. And then even the mice, these are 2 generations further ahead than what we had as recently as 2 months ago. And those actually just started actual production about 2 weeks ago. So, meaning the liquid is getting sprayed into the molds.
Oh wow!
So
it's go time now, no turning back.
Exactly. So that's Biker Mice, and those are the bikes. That's wave 1. We have wave 2 also in production right now.
Well, important question for you, Brian. What is the price point going to be for these motorcycles?
Believe it or not, $49.
That's it?
Yep.
I'm actually legit surprised by that, because these things I would figure would have been more.
No, here's the thing, and it's funny. Our head of the head of our consumer products division is he's right over there, and this drives him crazy. But I'm a big believer in the more of an item you can get into people's homes, the better. So I know we probably could have sold these for $54, maybe even $59, but it was more important to me to sell more for less than to sell less for more. And I know this might be a really strange, crazy thing to say for a lot of people, but I'm a Walmart kind of guy. I'm not a Tiffany's kind of guy. I like being parts of big groups. I don't want to make $800 statues. By the way, I want to also say, I want to make sure that didn't come out wrong. I own a few $800 statues.
I've seen your collection. I know what you got in there.
I am very glad that there are people and companies that do that kind of work. But that's not for me. I want to make mass market toys that inspire people. That will not just inspire, because toys do 2 things in 2023 and beyond. For us, people our age or my age, I'm 47, toys inspired my career. I'm an only child. They gave me so much fun and enjoyment as a child that I think if anybody thinks I'm normal these days, a lot of that comes from my childhood and the toys I played with. But toys now, not only do they inspire children, but they give joy to people my age, because you have this on your shelf. You're having a bad day at work, one of your little kids gives you the finger. You need something to give you joy. And these give joy. So if you're selling something for $49 instead of $59, that means more people will have joy than less. And knock on wood, that will lead to actually making more money, or people just like our company more for doing reasonable prices, and that maybe they'll try buying other stuff from us. I don't know. I did not go to business school. So anyone listening to this, don't follow this thinking, because it might be really stupid.
So that is Biker Mice from Marzo, and they look wonderful.
Thank you.
Let's head on down to, I believe, some Robo Force stuff here, and also,
Yes.
big surprise, the Expanse. Should we start with the Expanse, Brian?
Sure. So the Expanse, other than Star Trek, but to me Star Trek is its own category. Other than Star Trek, The Expanse is my favorite show in the history of television.
That is high praise.
So we were very lucky in that I had a meeting with Alcon, and that meeting had nothing to do with The Expanse. We were actually talking to them about doing a TV show together, but there was a guy in the meeting with a tattoo right out of The Expanse, and we started talking. Anyway, long story short, they trusted us with the rights to make the figures, and we're making the figures. We're launching with Ava Salvara and Drummer, who, I don't know if you watched the show or not, but up until the second to last episode, are mortal enemies. They shake hands in the penultimate episode, and that shaking hands leads to the end of the war. So our launch package, which was inspired by what Star Wars did with the Mace Windu and Stap with Battle Droid packs, you know, those 2 packs, those sneak peeks. So we're launching, it's not much of a sneak peek because I'm telling everybody about it, but we're launching with that handshake. So they're shaking hands in the pack, and if you look at the background of the magazine, the box is gonna represent the set where that scene actually happened.
Shout out to Toy Collector Magazine.
That's right. Go Blake.
Wow, very
So
exciting.
that's The Expanse.
All right.
These are my 2 favorite characters in the show.
So that's why we're starting with those 2.
That's right. When you're CEO, you get to do shit like that. Then this is obviously Wave 1 of Robo Force. Max is sold out, but we're making more.
Goodness.
So what do they call it again? What do you call when you're making more of the same thing?
A
Like in
re-release?
comic, yeah, not a re-release. Well, I don't know, whatever it's called.
More
we,
coming.
We should have more of him. He should be back in stock before the holidays.
Man, he looks awesome.
Thank you. So that's Max. That's Wrecker. We're going to need more of him next year. We only have a couple hundred left.
Looking excellent as well. I really love what you guys did with the modern upgrade to them. They really haven't lost, any of their original kind of flavor. It's just been added to.
You're very kind. And then this is where it starts to get exciting. So I'll start with the less exciting of the 2, but still very exciting. This is Sentinel. So we just announced her at San Diego, but she already has a new paint job. She is a very important character in the cartoon. She's almost like the 3rd lead. So she is definitely going to be a part of Wave 2. But if you pan down, you will see Curmudgeon. Curmudgeon is very important and very, very exciting to me because for a couple of reasons. One, she is in the cartoon. She's kind of like he is in our cartoon. He's kind of like our Norm. So he's at the restaurant where there's a very important kind of bar restaurant in the show. That's like the home base for Robo Force. So he's always at the end of the bar. He's always there 24/7. Very sarcastic, angry character. But he's our first original toy.
Oh, wow.
So we designed him. One of the writers, Gavin High created him. And he's our first original character. Now this prototype, the actual one you're looking at, and this is no fault of the designer whatsoever, but we just got him on Tuesday, and we flew out here on Wednesday, or the team did. So a couple reasons I bring that up. One, he's too dark, so the one we actually go into production on is going to be bright orange like him.
That's
right
a pretty
there.
big difference, yeah.
He's also a little too small, so I'm going to make him a little bigger, even though if we're talking about scale, he's too small, he's too big already. We're actually going to make him a little bit bigger. But he's our first original character. And also in the cartoon, we've evolved the design a little bit to give him eyebrows. So this is definitely a big part of history here that will not be reflected in the actual toy that goes into production. Oh, and last but not least, my biggest regret about Wave 1 Robo Force, and this was 100% my fault, is the packaging. I'm not a big fan of the packaging. I know why I did it, but in retrospect, I don't really like it anymore. So this is the new packaging. So Wave 2 is going to be very true to the original packaging.
Nice color choice.
But if anything, I added even more color.
Very exciting. Robo Force in the house. But
That's
let's
right.
move on down to, I know this is a passion project for you here.
Yes.
This is the Legends of Laughter line.
So as I think you know, the origin of our company is stand-up comedy.
Yes.
So we're still to this day the biggest producer of stand-up. And we have a record arm. And we have deals with all three of these amazing, unfortunately no longer with us, comedians. So I was like, why not try to do something a little different? And as of a month ago, these have been on store shelves and shipping from our DTC. We got Lenny Bruce, Bill Hicks, and Joan Rivers.
So it's definitely an interesting wave because, you know, I try to think like who is into buying Legends of Laughter. I'm kind of curious, like, what's the reception been for these guys? Because they are such a niche kind of thing to go into.
You know, the reception has been good. It has not been great, and it has not been bad. It has been good. So, listen, I know they will be profitable, but I believe it'll take longer than any of our other lines for that to happen. But as you said, and you hit it, you said it perfectly, it's my passion project. So all I care about for them is that they're profitable in order for us to make more. So if they do get in the black, which if I guess right will be mid to late next year, then we'll probably do at least 2 more, maybe 3. Like Richard Pryor, my favorite comedian of all time, you know, it makes me sad that we don't have him yet.
Richard Pryor would be an excellent addition to this line. That'd be amazing actually to have a figure of him in general, just interacting with all the other things I collect. I'd love to have him hanging out with my Ultimate Warrior figure perhaps, but
yeah,
that's just a pipe dream for now. Let's hope that it can happen though. I want that to happen. And let's take a look at Sectaurs now.
Yeah, there they are.
In full packaging here.
Yeah, and they are gonna be on the boat. Actually, they're already on the boat. Yeah, those are gonna be at the port of Los Angeles, probably in a week or 2. And I know some people are understandably upset that we're about 2 months behind schedule. The reason is, and I'm not saying this as an excuse, it is what it is, but the reason is actually Stellara's armor. Her paint took forever to get right. So we lost almost 2 months because of that.
Well, the wait was worth it. This looks really great. I love this chromium look.
Thank you.
And beautiful color choices, wonderful blending in there as well. Like, I'll give folks a real good glimpse of this here. There's a lot of really nuanced blending that's happening here with these shades. I mean, I'm not super familiar with the Sectaurs line. I don't really know much about what the originals looked like, but I'm very impressed by this paint. Like, this looks great.
Thank you. And she, you know, she's never been in production before. So okay. There were images of her on the back of the packaging, but she never went into production. So this is the first time ever you could actually buy her and put her on your shelf.
So long overdue.
Yes. So very excited about that. And she's actually outselling Dargon.
Wow.
Which I'm slightly surprised about for a lot of reasons, but very, very, very happy about.
And let's just go super retro now because we got Great Garloo over here.
That's right.
It's real classic.
Our second line. And we're combining all these IPs in our cartoons.
That's right. This is going to be an expanded universe of Nacelle.
So Garloo is very prominent in Robo Force, as is Biker Mice. Only Legends of Laughter and the Expanse are not in the Nacelle-verse.
So you mean we're never going to see Joan Rivers hanging out with Max 89?
For many reasons, highly unlikely.
So that is a look at what Nacelle's got coming up. But besides the action figures, which look amazing, I got to ask you, toys that made us, movies that made us, any news you can tell us?
I wouldn't blame you if you want to punch me in the face for saying this, but all I can say to you is stay tuned. If it was dead, believe me, I would tell you. I would tell everybody, because it's one of the most frequently asked questions that I get. So all I can say is stay tuned. It's a very, very complicated process making both of these shows.
I've heard that line before, so I know it. We've all heard it, but we all kind of know it. Like, that should be your next t-shirt design, honestly. Like, that needs to be the Nacelle t-shirt.
I might do that.
Yeah, there you go. I want one. And last thing also, we know that Ryan Reynolds is part of what you're doing with the Nacelleverse. When might we see him, if at all, perhaps in the cartoons?
That, you know what? I don't say this very often, so this is a huge compliment to you that I have to give you this answer. You ready? No comment.
Brilliant. Exactly what I expected. Brian Volk-Weiss, thank you so much for giving us a tour here today at the Nacelle booth with all the very cool stuff you got on display. Cannot wait to get the biker mice especially, but wonderful stuff here all around. So again, one more time, Brian, thanks so much. This has been awesome.
Thank you.
This is Matthew from Nerd News Today. We're here at Toy Fair 2023. Stick around though, we got more to come.